Of Burmese residents of Utica stood in protest today against the killing of innocent civilians in Burma today. News Channel 2's James Corrigan was there and tells us why emotions were running high.
It was a cry for help for those halfway around the world risking their lives by doing the same thing.
If your children die, how you gonna feel? How you blood feeling?
Burmese residents of Utica came out to Oneida Square today to protest the violence that has gripped Myanmar, also known as Burma, over the past 2 months. That violence came to a head today as over 100 innocent civilians were killed in the Southeast Asian nation as part of military retaliation to ongoing protests of the military coup that overtook the country on February 1st. Among those killed were multiple children, ranging as young as 5 years old.
I'm a mom, so I feel like they kill my kids, my own kids. So I don't want to see more killing.
The violence began when the Burmese military deposed the country's democratically elected leaders, but reached its peak today on a government holiday called Armed Forces Day, honoring its military. Almost all of the thousands of Burmese refugees living in Utica have families still in the country, risking their lives fighting for democracy.
My families are surviving in Burma, and they are also on the street and marching and asking freedom and democracy in Burma. So I'm still worried about my family.
They all live in fear. Sorry. They live in fear every day. They don't know what's going to happen. But the people of Burma are willing to die for their freedom now.
The protesters behind me say their fight for justice does not reside solely in Southeast Asia. It resides here in the United States and around the world as well.
We need our governments and our president to take military action in Burma. That's why we are asking United Nations to impose R2P section in Burma.
R2P, or Right to Protect, is a United Nations doctrine stating that the international community has a responsibility to intervene to prevent war crimes and crimes against humanity.
The civilian has no weapons, but the military regime has weapons and killing us peacefully protesters and civilians.
Even amidst dark days, the Burmese community of Utica has remained united and committed to advocating for their people.
They're still hopeful, they're fighters, and they will fight until they have democracy.
A fight that they hope will travel from downtown Utica all the way to Washington, D.C. and beyond. James Corrigan, News Channel 2.